Sad is from Arabic, because Arabic's the first language. It's the mother tongue. It's the language of our mother Hawa and our father Adam alayhi salam. And their words are Arabic names. So this Arabic is not an arbitrary language. It's not a conventional language. It's not a agglutinated language, just sticking things together. The word in Arabic for heart is qalb. That's one of the words. The Arabs have a lot of words for heart. One of the words is qalb. Now if you take that and switch the letters around, you get qabila. And there's a science of the meanings of the words when you switch the letters around. Like you have a word like ilm, which means action. If you switch the letters around, you get amal, which knowledge, and then you get amal, action. Because knowledge and action are related. And qalb and qabila are related also. And qalb and qabla, before, are also related. Because the heart knows something that it knew before it came into this realm. You see, the heart knows, Alastu bi Rabbikum. The heart knows the answer to that question. Bala shahidna. Indeed, we testify to that truth. So every human heart that came into the world knew this truth, this spiritual truth. And then the human being is tasked in his life to once again testify during his life on earth. Because he tarries on the earth for a period of time. And he has to testify sidqan min qalbihi, in truth from his heart. That once again, he has to testify just as he testified in the primordial world with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He has to testify in this world before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His unseen manifestation. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is manifesting Himself in creation from an unseen realm. Before we were in a realm in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was zahir, and now He's batin. See, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has hidden Himself from us by manifesting His attributes in creation, and it is the human heart that has to recognize this. And this is why the heart is the organ of cognition. It's not the brain. You see, the non-Muslims would like to say that you think in your brain. This is what they would like to say. But you have to ask the question, why is it that, and people who study martial arts know this, that if you cut off the carotid artery for a short period of time, people lose consciousness. They lose consciousness. Why? Because you cut off the source of consciousness, which is the heart. Without the heart, there is no consciousness. And it's blood, in fact, the blood which is carrying all the glucose and the oxygen, 60% of which is being utilized by the human brain. And it's the heart that's sending it there. So it is the heart that is the source of human consciousness. And now we're only beginning to study things like the atrial peptide. This is a hormone now. They didn't even know it existed before. And now they're seeing that the heart is telling the brain things. It's telling the brain what to do. This is very recent research in cardiology. You see, they didn't know that before. So how much don't they know? They don't even know how aspirin works. They don't. You ask a doctor, ask your doctor, how does aspirin work? We haven't worked that out yet. It's the most prescribed drug. And he said, we don't really know how that works. And you can ask them a lot of questions. If you want to stump a doctor, that's an easy thing to do. If you want to stump, you can stump any of them. You see, and really, in the end of the day, they can explain things how, but if you ask them why, that question will always stump them. If you just switch from how to why. You see, for instance, you ask them, why does the heart beat? You see, why does the heart beat? You know, why didn't it take the blood somewhere else? Why does it go contraction, expansion? You see, diastolic, systolic. Why does it do that? It could have done other ways. There's lots of ways you could get the blood around the body without a beat. Why did Allah make it a beat? And then you ask, why did Allah make the breath expansion, contraction? Because that's what, and basit. Allah is qabid and He's basit. He's the contractor and the expander. And the heart is doing that every moment. You see, your heart is, if you listen to it, they call it labdab. Right? Labdab. Right? That's what, they don't know what it's saying, but if you listen closely, you can hear that. I mean, they say like meow in English. That's supposed to be the way a cat sounds. They say meow. Well, in Japanese, they don't say meow. They say something else, like kia. Right? Well, so what is it? Meow or kia? Right? Well, it's just the way they're hearing it. All right, so they're trying to get an approximation. But if you listen to the heart with a stethoscope and very closely, you will hear what it says. It says, Allah, 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 Allah. That's what it's saying. Contraction, expansion. And if you look at the name, the divine name, Allah. It's a contraction, expansion. That's what it is. That's what the tongue is doing. Allah, Allah, Allah. Allah. That's what it's doing. And this is what the heart is doing. The heart knows who its Lord is. But the nafs has forgotten who its Lord is. And this is because we become tainted with the dunya. We're in the world. We've forgotten who our Lord is. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent messengers to remind us who our Lord is. So that we can return. So that we can return. Now if you ask, how do we bring our ibadah to life? The first recognition is that it's dead. That's the first state, that's the place where we start. The ibadah is dead. You see, in the Muslim world now, we are in the perfunctory mode. We went on to automatic pilot several hundred years ago. Right? We invented it long before these people ever got it. Right? We just turned on automatic pilot and went into what's called ghafla or heedlessness. That's what the pilot does. Once they get up in the air, if you ever open that door, you'll have a heart attack. Because they're snoring. They're lying back there and they even go to sleep. People don't know that, but it's true. Right? They actually go to sleep on those planes, those pilots. And that's what happens with Muslims. You see, you can go into a mechanical mode. Allahu Akbar. And you can pray rakats, and then 5 minutes later, you'll start wondering, did I pray? or how many rakats did I pray? Why do we have so many intentions in Islam? It's an interesting thing about ibadah. If you don't make an intention, now where's the intention? You know what the ulama say? Mahallu niyya fil qalb. The place of intention is in the heart. It's not saying nawaitu salat al-dhuhr, because that could become a tape recorder as well. Right? You just go into automatic pilot. Nawaitu salat al-dhuhr arba' raka'at faridatan. Right? And then you just do that every time. And you just change the tape. If it's dhuhr, you say dhuhr, asr, asr. Right? You got to get the tape straight. Right? So this is what people do. They go to sleep. And then there's a lot of people, they've gone to such a degree of sleep, because there are different types of sleep. You have REM sleep, rapid eye movement. You know, see, a lot of people are in REM sleep, but there's other people, they're not even in REM sleep. The eyes aren't even moving. There's no movement. Right? And so there's degrees of sleep. وَالنَّاسُ نِيَامٌ. People are asleep. That's Sayyidina Ali said that, and it's true. You just have to think about it. People are asleep. They asked Sayyidina Ali, what is all of this? Creation. Somebody asked him once, what is creation? And he said, هَبَاءٌ لَا يُرَى إِلَّا حِينَمَا يَقَعُ عَلَيْهِ نُورُ اللَّهِ. This is like the dust in the air that only becomes visible when the light of Allah strikes it. You see, that was a arif billah. That was a man who knew Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What a more profound description of the atomic realm. You see, all of these atoms like haba floating in this ethereal space that Allah has created, and the only reason they're visible is because Allah is nuru samawati wal ard. Munawwiru samawati wal ard. He illuminated the heavens and the earth. And the heart is the organ of the human being that is capable of perceiving that in the most profound and deep ways. And this is why the heart is a gift from Allah. And you have to protect the gift. Look where He put it. He put it behind the sternum. The strongest thing in the body. He put it, and then He put a rib cage around it. He didn't put it like the genitals. The genital is right out there. Right? Seriously, look, I mean, a person doesn't have any protection there. That's why you want to down a man. They teach you, that's the first thing they teach you in martial arts. Go for the groin. Because there's no protection. You see, but the heart, Allah put a protection there. A powerful protection. And then He gave it a pumping, this oscillating power in which the blood is flowing in every single cell of the body, in every pulse. There is blood, so the heart reaches every single cell of the body.